This is the story of a man who lost everything and then won $200 million. His name was Malik Thompson, a Jamaican immigrant living in the Cayman Islands, 38 years old, construction consultant, quiet, loyal, the kind of man who left before sunrise and came home after dark without ever complaining. He did not come from luxury. He came from work, from sweat, from sacrifice, from mornings so early the sky still looked bruised, from construction sites where men measured each other by how long they could stand under the sun without asking for shade. He was not flashy. He was not loud. He did not need to remind people he was a man. He proved it by showing up. Every day, every bill, every promise,
One more year,
every
babe.
sacrifice.
Then we
And
upgrade
at
everything.
home, there was Amara Bennett Thompson, Caymanian, beautiful, polished, status-driven, the kind of woman who knew how to enter a room and make people look. Malik loved her, like she was already the future. He saw the apartment and imagined a house. He saw the bills and imagined freedom. He saw her tired face in the morning and whispered, "One more year, babe. Then we upgrade everything." But Amara had stopped hearing promise. She only heard delay. To Malik, sacrifice was proof of love. To Amara, sacrifice started to feel like embarrassment. She watched other women ride in better cars. She watched friends post resort lunches. She watched men in linen shirts step out of private elevators, while her husband came home with dust on his boots. And slowly, the man who was building her future started looking like the reason she didn't have one yet. That is how betrayal begins. Not always with a kiss. Sometimes it begins with comparison. Sometimes it begins when gratitude gets replaced by appetite. Sometimes it begins when someone stops seeing what a person gives and starts staring at what they do not have. The brunch table did the rest. 3 women in oversized sunglasses, sipping mimosas, telling Amara what she already wanted to hear. One leaned in and smirked. "Girl, Malik nice."
Girl, Malik nice, but nice don't pay luxury bills.
You Caymanian, you could level up easy.
That man probably married you for status.
He does love me, though. Love don't buy yachts, babe.
"But nice don't pay luxury bills," another said. "You Caymanian, you could level up easy." A third sipped her drink and added, "That man probably married you for status." Amara said quietly, "He does love me, though." The first one laughed. "Love don't buy yachts, babe." They laughed. Amara laughed too. Just a beat too late. Then came Richard Whitmore, 46, American, CEO, sharp suits, cold blue-gray eyes, a Rolex that never disappeared from his wrist, a man who treated rooms like he owned the air inside them. Richard was everything Malik was not, or at least everything Amara thought she wanted. He had the office, the money, the power, the polished voice, the expensive confidence. And most dangerous of all, he noticed her weakness. He saw the hunger behind her smile. He saw how she leaned toward luxury. He saw how easily dissatisfaction could become permission. So Richard did what men like him do. He offered attention wrapped in opportunity. He made betrayal feel like elevation. A compliment in the hallway, a late meeting, a glass of wine after work, a message she should have deleted, a door that should have stayed open, closing slowly. And while Malik was building a life for them, Amara was borrowing a fantasy from another man. At first, she told herself it was harmless. Then she told herself Malik would never know. Then she told herself she deserved to feel desired. That is the lie that destroys families. I deserve this. Not love, not truth, not loyalty, just hunger with better lighting. Malik kept working, kept paying, kept dreaming. He did not know that the woman he kissed goodbye in the morning was being held by another man before sunset. And that is what makes betrayal cruel. The betrayed person is always the last one living inside the truth. Then came the day everything changed. Malik wanted to surprise her. Roses, a better car, a ring, a brochure for the kind of home he thought would make her smile again. He was not coming to accuse her. He was not coming angry. He was coming hopeful. That is what made it worse. He walked into Whitmore Corporate with flowers in his hand, and he found his wife in Richard's arms. No rumor, no misunderstanding, no way to explain it away. Just the woman he built for, kissing the man she replaced him with. For a second, Malik did not move. The flowers stayed in his hand. The room went quiet. Richard looked at him like an inconvenience. Amara looked at him like a secret had finally learned how to breathe. And Malik felt something inside him go still. Not rage, not screaming, not violence. Stillness. The kind that comes when pain gets too deep to make noise. He whispered her name. She turned, shocked for a beat, then annoyed. "Oh my God," she said. Richard smirked. "Well, guess the secret's out now." Malik said quietly, "You. With him?" Amara, frustrated, said, "You weren't supposed to come here." "I was surprising my wife," Malik said. Richard laughed. "Buddy, she stopped being yours a long time ago?" Co-workers began recording on their phones. Malik said, "After everything I did for you?" Amara, defensive, "You acting like I asked you to. I paid your student loans, your mother's mortgage, your father's surgery, and I appreciated it." Richard stepped forward. "Listen carefully. You're not the man for her. I'm richer, more powerful, more connected. She chose a real man." Amara coldly said, "Look at you. You'll never be on our level." The entire office went silent. Then she finished him. Quietly. "You're just a hardworking Jamaican man trying to survive Cayman." Richard turned to security. "Escort him out." Malik's eyes filled. He held the tears in. He looked at her one more time and said, "One day, you gon' regret this." Richard laughed it off. "Sure, buddy." So the marriage went to court. And that courtroom became the place where Malik learned that heartbreak can come with paperwork. He lost the house. He lost the cars. He lost the marriage. He lost the life he had built nail by nail. And in front of everyone, Amara looked at him like he would recover. Like what she took was just property. Like the house was not every morning he had left before sunrise. Like the car was not every hour he traded his body for her comfort. Like the marriage was not the only kingdom he ever wanted. Richard stood beside her, smug, polished, untouched. And Malik stood there, with nothing left but his name. Some men beg when they lose. Some men threaten. Some men collapse. Malik did none of it. He walked out. Quiet. Empty. Humiliated. But the story was not over. It had not even begun. Because before the divorce was finalized, before Amara knew what she had thrown away, before Richard understood what kind of man he had underestimated, Malik had bought a lottery ticket. A random ticket. A tired stop at a gas station. A moment so ordinary it almost disappeared. The cashier told him, "Sometimes God hide blessings in random moments." Malik almost smiled. He did not believe his life had room for blessings anymore, but he bought the ticket. Then he kept moving. Days later, in a parked car near the Miami waterfront, rain beating the windshield, phone glowing in his hand, Malik checked the numbers. 7, 14, 29, 38, 52. Mega Ball 11. He looked at the screen, then at the ticket, then back at the screen. His hand started shaking. Not because he was happy, because destiny had arrived too late to save what he loved. "No," he whispered. "No, no, no. That can't be right." But it was right. $200 million. The kind of money that makes people rewrite history. The kind of money that turns enemies into callers. The kind of money that makes betrayal look like bad timing. But Malik didn't run back. He didn't call Amara. He didn't post. He didn't flex. He sat in that car while rain swallowed the city, and he understood one terrible truth. The money came after the love died. And that meant the money was not a gift. It was a weapon. Not to hurt people. Not at first, but to reveal them. At the Florida Lottery podium, cameras flashed. Reporters shouted. People expected joy. They expected tears. They expected a speech about dreams coming true. But Malik stood there in a tailored suit, calm as stone. A reporter asked, "Mr. Thompson, what's your first plan with the winnings?" Malik looked into the cameras. No smile, no celebration. And he said, "Build quietly." That was the rebirth. Not the money, the restraint. Because the old Malik would have wanted Amara to see his pain. The new Malik wanted her to see the results. He hired Desmond, a strategist, an attorney, a man who understood that revenge with emotion gets messy, but revenge with paperwork becomes architecture. Anonymous Cayman holding companies, shell entities, legal distance, clean ownership, quiet acquisitions. The realist holdings, Tortuga Properties, Sand Dollar Equity Group, and one more, Bennett Trust. Desmond looked at him. "Bennett, that's Amara's maiden name." "I know," Malik said. "You want to put assets in a trust named after the woman who tried to destroy you? Not for her, for her parents?" That was the first sign that Malik had not become Richard. He was cold now, but not corrupt. Wounded, but not rotten. He would destroy the people who chose cruelty, but he would still protect the innocent. Then Malik made the next move. The realist holdings bought the Whitmore corporate office building. Tortuga bought the building where Richard lived. Sand Dollar bought the residential complex where Amara's friends lived. All cash, all anonymous. 3 weeks. Desmond looked at him and said, "Brother, that's not revenge. That's chess." Malik answered, "Revenge ends. Chess lasts forever." And from that moment forward, the board belonged to him. He bought the penthouse Richard once wanted, the one Richard toured, the one Richard could not finance. 6 bedrooms, 8 baths, floor-to-ceiling glass, private elevator, terrace over 7 Mile Beach. The agent said, 15.2. Malik said, cash. No smile. Because this was not joy. This was replacement cost. Everything they thought he could never become, he became without asking permission. Then the buildings changed hands. Richard received the news first. His assistant walked into his office with paperwork. The ownership transfer was complete. Whitmore Corporate did not own its own ground anymore. Richard said, "To who?" The assistant said, "The Realist Holdings, LLC." Richard said, "I don't know that name." The assistant said, "No one does." That is when panic first entered Richard's body. Not all at once, just a crack. A small one. The kind rich men feel when the world stops obeying them. Then came the Rolls-Royce. Matte black. Delivered like a funeral car. The driver handed Malik the keys. "Mr. Thompson, your Phantom." Malik said, "Thank you." Said, "Would you like me to walk you through the features?" No. He took the keys. No music. No smile. No celebration. Because power did not fill the hole. It only gave the hole better lighting. That night, Malik moved into the penthouse. 8 boxes. a mother's Bible, one photograph of the only man who ever called him brother. The room was enormous. The silence was bigger. He looked out over Cayman, lights below him, ocean beyond him, everything expensive, everything empty. And he realized something money never tells you before it arrives. Winning does not automatically feel like healing. At 1 a.m, he called Desmond. "You should sleep," Desmond said. "I tried. Penthouse too quiet. Everything is quiet now." "That's peace." Malik looked through the glass at the city. "No. Peace feels different." "Then what is it?" "I just keep waiting for it to feel like winning." "And does it?" "No." Desmond let the silence sit. Then he said, "Then don't mistake victory for healing." That line stayed with him because Malik had money. He had property. He had leverage. He had power. But he did not have himself back yet. Meanwhile, Cyril saw him on television, a working-class man, a construction man, a man who remembered Malik from before the suits. Cyril's wife asked, "You know him?" Cyril said, "Yes. Me know him." "From where?" "The site, East End Hotel built. 5 years. Never missed a day." "That man?" "That man." And that mattered, because before the world called Malik rich, men like Cyril knew him as reliable. That is the difference between status and character. Status is what people see after the money. Character is what people remember before it. Equals, equals, equals. Then came the envelopes. Richard opened his first. Eviction paperwork. Ownership line. Malik Thompson Holdings. His face changed. The blood left it. His empire had a new landlord. Across town, Amara opened hers. Same envelope. Same cold language. Same invisible hand. She called Richard. He called her. Both already knew. It was him. The man they laughed at. The man they replaced. The man they thought they had finished. He had not come back screaming. He came back owning. And then Amara came to the penthouse. Rain pouring. Hair soaked. Mascara running. Standing outside the door like the storm had finally followed her home. Malik opened the door just enough. Warm light behind him. Cold rain behind her. "Please," she cried. "We were supposed to build together." Malik looked at her. Calm. No anger. Just the sadness of a man who finally understood. "We did," he said. "You just sold your future too cheap." "Malik, I made a mistake." "No," he said softly. "You made a choice." "I didn't know." And there it was, the truth hiding inside the apology. She did not mean she did not know she was wrong. She meant she did not know he would win. "You didn't know I would win," he said. She cried harder. "That's not fair. Neither was what you did. I still love you." "No. You love what I became. Please don't close this door." "You closed it first." A long silence, the kind that holds a whole marriage. Then Malik looked at the woman he once would have given anything to keep, and he said, "You gambled loyalty," and rolled snake eyes. The door closed. Season 1 ended there.